Hey, it's Mark Lanier with your video thought for the day. Well, happy Wednesday. If you watch this on the day that this is coming out, happy Wednesday. If you're watching it another day, happy whatever day you're watching it. I don't know which day that is, but I'm confident it ends with the letter Y. Now, I'm speaking of the time that you watch this or the time that I'm making this, and I'm doing so for a deliberate reason. See, today I started my Trial Academy, which is a chance for me to speak to a lot of people for several days about different ideas of communication and how and why we communicate. And I speak for a long amount of time, but this is the time for my Trial Academy as I make this. Now, why all these time references? Well, I think because they've got in my brain the concept that in the Greek language, the ancient Greek language, there were two words that often get translated as time, two different concepts that we just ball up together in our idea of time. But I think it's really instructive for us to think about these two different Greek words because there are two concepts of time that are very important. Now, one is just the word Kronos. We get chronology from it. It would be like today is Wednesday, as I was making that time reference, or whatever day of the week you're watching it, as I was making that time reference. And Kronos is a reference to the kind of a clockwork time in a sense. So for example, when Jesus is born and the wise men come to Herod, and Herod is trying to figure out where this alleged Messiah may be born so that he can do away with it before the Messiah has a chance to usurp Herod's power. Herod calls the wise men in and he peppers them with questions to find out the time, the moment. You know, when did the star appear? When was this supposed Messiah born? That word time that's used there in the gospel is Kronos. It's you know, he wanted to know what time it was. Give me the date. Give me the hour. That's the Wednesday talk. But there's a whole nother word for time. And it is an extremely important word. It's the word Kairos. Spelled with a K, or kappa, K-A-I-R-O-S, Kairos. Kairos has a long history in the Greek language as being some divinely appointed moment even. It had a strong ethical history with the word, it's the idea that there's an opportunity. There's a decisive moment. It's time in the sense that here is the chance for you to do something that needs to be done. In fact, the ancient Greeks even made Kairos, this word for time, a god. But within the New Testament, the idea is very much the same thing. It is a time, it is a season of opportunity. And the New Testament speaks over and over of it being God's opportunity. God's the master of this time and opportunity. And so it's used in passages. In fact, sometimes it's even translated opportunity. You'll find it in Galatians where Paul instructs the church there to do good to everyone as the opportunity is there. It's the word time, as the Kairos, as that opportune moment that's divinely appointed is there. So the New Testament speaks about us living in eras or times that God gives us, not just of gee, it's 2:33 in the afternoon or in the morning or something like that. Not a chronology, but a kairos, an important, decisive moment where we can do what God wants us to do. It's kind of cool. God orchestrates those times in our lives, and our goal each day is to try to recognize the time and do what is decisively called on in that moment, whether it's do good to those around us, whether it's to love the unlovable, whether it's to hold our tongue, whether it's fill in the blank. It is the opportunity you and I have today. That's the time that you need to be watching this, your video thought for the day.